after the game, it's the aftermath. Win or lose, we still wave our commander's flag. Riding with Wentz under center, making the pass. Jahan Dotson, young rookie, making a splash. That burgundy and gold, that's what we about. Jonathan Allen knocking QBs to the ground. We die hard and nobody can shut us down. Cause this is the greatest show in town. Let's go! Go, 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 go.
What's fans? All right, day 2 of the Washington Commanders mini camp. Sights and sounds, very good things. Start off, Ron Rivera said that he's really excited about Chase Young. Said that he looks strong, he looks fast, he's actually more explosive like how he's been when he first came into the league with the Commanders. So that's a good sign for Chase. Now, even though we don't hear a lot of these swirling rumors about trade talks, but I'm not going to even indulge in all of that because Bleacher Report put out something today, so I'm not going to even entertain that at all. I'm just going to focus on mini camp and the guys that's there. Now, Warren Sapp, he was there last year, and I would have thought that the Commanders or Ron Rivera would have brought him in as a assistant defensive line coach, but his presence has been felt because he's been there, working with the guys, working with Chase, working with Montez, working with John, working with Deron. So with that being said, Warren Sapp, he's continuing to spend time with us with minicamp into training camp. He has a closer relationship with defensive line coach Jeff Zargona and general manager Martin Mayhew. So it's only fitting that they would be able to bring him in because Warren Sapp did win a Super Bowl. He is a former defensive tackle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, but even though Warren Sapp is not interested in a full-time coaching career, he did play 13 years, but his best era as a defensive player, he also offers a lot of insight and help to the Washington defense that is very, very talented, very, very talented. So I like him being around. I like somebody that's going to show presence, help these young guys learn. And that's where you see, because think about it, we do have I can't recall his name right now. It'll come to me in a minute. But having him there, it makes a lot of sense. It does help out. I was listening to Kevin Sheehan podcast today because they do bring a lot of insight because Ben Stein, he's there, he's inside the Commanders, so he brings a lot of insight of what he's seen. So I was listening to him today, and he was talking about how the defensive line, the defensive line in general, with the guys we have, with the depth that we have there, they are more athletic. They're very fast. He even said that about the offensive line, that how the offensive line is very athletic, how they're able to move around, and how Ron Rivera has decided that Charles Leno is back. I don't know why I wait so late to do anyway. But, and we already know that Montez and Chase are battling for contracts this year. And Ben Stein did give an insight of that. What could play into that part whatsoever is that they could either, like I said, they could either sign one, franchise one. And then also, Cam Curl there. So with that being said, I think Warren Sapp will be there. I think he will be there throughout the whole training camp period until they get ready to go on the field. I think it, like I said, it's very good that to have Warren Sapp around. I think it would be very, very good. I think it would be very influenced to keep this guy around. Honestly, I would love to Warren Sapp to be part of the defense. You know, I think he will help this defensive line really, really good. So who knows? Also, I'll talk about how Eric Bieniemy is really working his magic with his team. You know, he's really, because you got to think about this. With everything that's going on right now, I do believe that Eric Bieniemy, if he put this offense in the right position where they need to be, I think he will succeed Ron Rivera and become the head coach of the Washington Commanders. That's just my belief. I believe that. But everything got to pan out on the field. I mean, we can't get so hyped about training camp and OTAs, even though they look good and stuff, but you got to think, there's no hitting. So with that being said, once they do joint practices with the Baltimore Ravens, then you'll get to see some of this stuff. Then we'll get to see how these guys go up against other talent. Man, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Oh. But nevertheless, they talked about the tight ends. Ben Stein said how the tight ends is looking very, very good. How Logan Thomas looks very, very explosive. You know, how he been, you know, when he was first with us. So that's a good sign because of him coming off. And you got, if you think about it, you could put Logan Thomas and Chase Young in the same basket because they both had injuries. One had a knee, one had the Achilles part, and you got to think they both battling injuries trying to get back to their normal form. Now they did came back last year, but they wasn't really nowhere where they supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So this year is a pivotal year for them to get back into form and train and be the guys that we hope they could be. The tight end room, I think the tight end room, we still could have drafted a tight end. That's what I think. But also with Amani Rogers out now, everybody got stepped up. Now Ron Rivera did say he loved how Cole Turner has come along and said he's showing what made him, because he was injured a little bit last year. So a lot of guys here has been injured, and it has kind of like set their training back a little bit, their development back a little bit, so to speak, more so as the development part. So that's what I think. So like Logan Thomas and Chase Young, whoever that was been injured, like Cole Turner, they all could come back and be more productive this season. I do believe that these guys, like I said before and I said it again, I do believe this Washington team is very talented from defense and offense, even though we got a rookie quarterback. Now, speaking of quarterback, Ron Rivera has said that now there's a quarterback competition for QB1, and actually Ben Stein gave a very good insight of that also on the Kevin Sheehan show. He said that this is the first time that we have two quarterbacks with big arms that could really put the ball placement, but one is a rookie and one is a veteran. Now, the thing about it is that I feel like Ron Rivera is kind of like playing on Sam Howell and saying, okay, well, he's going into the season as QB1. But now he said, well, because he's QB1, that doesn't mean he's going to be the starter. So you pretty much open a quarterback competition up. Now, what if Jacoby Brissett beats out Sam Howell? What confidence was you going to give this young man? You know what I'm saying? Now, I get it and everything like that, but you gotta understand that Eric Bieniemy is kind of like working hand in hand with Sam Howell. Now, I don't know if Eric Bieniemy is giving feedback to Ron Rivera, say, hey, he still needs a little bit of work. We see how things go. At the end of the day, I think Sam Howell would be the starter, but knowing how Ron Rivera is, and I think Eric Bieniemy will have a lot of influence of going with Sam Howell over Jacoby Brissett. But I won't be surprised if Jacoby Brissett be the starter, because then if he be the starter, then that means we gonna revert back to where we was last year with Carson Wentz, the year before with Ryan Fitzpatrick, and then we're gonna see how far Jacoby Brissett takes us before we decide to say, okay, well, let's give Sam Howell a shot. Then we could probably lose a lot of games that way, and then we be in the market for a quarterback in the offseason. I don't want to see that happen. I'd rather Howell come out the gate being that guy, and we go through the fire with him. At least we know that, hey, he's in a new system. This is really his first year starting. So now we don't have to worry about it as much. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see how everything pans out. But nevertheless, is that not OTs, but mini training camp has been pretty good for these guys. They've been showing a lot. I am very impressed of what he's done so far. He has done by coming into yesterday and today, performing, and working with, and being there. You can see him doing certain things that's helping the team, not hurting the team. So that's a great thing. I think Chase will be all right. If he keep this mindset throughout the whole process, he will be fine. And just like going back, because like I said, that him and Tez has a contract year. And speaking of Tez, because he did say that Deron Payne set the blueprint of how to get the bag. So, and I'll elaborate more to that, because like I said, the Commanders have Chase, Montez Sweat, Cam Curl, Antonio Gibson. All of these guys are free agents after this season. And it's crazy because Gibson and Gibson and Samuels are free agents on offense. And you got to think, these guys might not be with us next year. These guys might not be with us. So, and I'll dive in more of the free agent part of this with these guys. So, but some will be retained, and likely that only Washington can only afford to sign Sweat and Young. One of Sweat and Young, and much will happen in 2023, but who knows? Now Sweat, who along with Young, they both skipped OTAs, but they came back. But Montez said, "Oh yeah, for sure." He definitely laid the blueprint on how to get the bag. Sweat said when it was asked, Payne's situation served as a motivation. He said, "So I salute him." So, and the thing about it is, he's taking what Payne did last year, and that's the same approach Cam Curl is taking. If you see, Cam Curl been to OTAs, both times. He's been there both times, and he's at minicamp right now. Now, I get it that Young went to train somewhere else. Charles Leonard had family issues, and Tez just did Tez. But these guys know, these guys know. So if you think about it, Sweat is playing on his 5th-year option right now. You know what I'm saying? He playing on his. So he got drafted a year before Chase Young. So he's playing on his 5th-year contract right now. So the fact of the matter is that he's looking to get signed. So I'm looking for him to be signed. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for him to be signed this offseason. Now, there's another option. They could franchise tag Chase Young and then work out a long-term deal with him and work out an extension for Cam Curl. But nevertheless, day 2 went pretty good. Oh, and Antonio Gibson caught a nasty one-hand grab. So, not Antonio Gibson, my bad, Brian Robinson. And I think Brian Robinson is going to be good. And I think Chris Rodriguez is going to be good. Chris Rodriguez might be Antonio Gibson's replacement. And I'm sure Washington will probably draft a running back in next year's draft anyway. So, because we're going to lose some people. That's going to be evident. We're going to lose some players on our team. So now if they take a pay cut and want to come back, that's fine. Now I think we signed Curtis Samuels. He been injured. You know, when he came to us too, he been productive last year. He finally been healthy. So the fact of the matter is, how much money are you willing to give him? You know, especially if he have a substantial role this year and be good, because teams gonna want to get Curtis Samuel. So me personally, I would find a way to keep him, but I think I would let Antonio Gibson leave. You know, because you got Chris Rodriguez there, and you can find another, and Chris Rodriguez and him and Brian Robinson, because you could get another running back in the draft. You could always have, you can never have enough explosive guys. So that's my thing about it. But all in all, I think one critical part of OTS is that they having a air quality control with wildfires in that area, and it seems like now that the guys have to pick Ron Rivera and the coaching staff, where the guys gonna have to take a little bit more caution. I actually know about the air quality problem because it happened in Seattle a few years ago when I was there, in which I have asthma, and James Smith Williams left early because he's asthmatic, and you can't be around all of that polluted air and smoke and stuff like that. So Ron Rivera did talk about it today, that he will keep a monitor on it and, you know, use the best judgment to protect the guys. If they have to move indoor, they have to move indoor, but they would rather be outside. So that's it for day 2 of the Washington Commanders minicamp. Sure, I will have the wrap-up coverage tomorrow for day 3, and hopefully we get some side. And also I will be dropping a video tomorrow on the update of Josh Harris and the potential sale, which he had a meeting with the financial committee, so it looks like everything is going forward for the owners to vote. Don't know when they will vote, but like I said, I will bring a short video for that tomorrow. Until then, guys, continue to like, comment, subscribe, keep your head up, aim for the stars. I'm out.